Alright folks, I have another video for you here. I'm going to address a couple things, show a few examples of what I'm experimenting with and exploring in regards to the process of remote viewing and what I look for, which is when an actual remote viewing is taking place and being able to tell when an actual remote viewing, because just because someone sits down with a pen and a piece of paper and they start working on something, it doesn't mean that an actual remote viewing is taking place. It might be taking place. It may be taking place to varying degrees. They may be very low level of degree, maybe a very high level of degree. Or there could be where there's no remote viewing taking place at all. So in the brain, the individual has the neurons in the CA3 region of the hippocampal formation have pattern completed into something, and now the individual is basically just interpreting old memories, old concepts, and things, assumptions and guesses. And the remote viewing has stopped. So from my obsession with that, with the reality of that, and the process of remote viewing, which is, in my opinion, the most important thing. In my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, but the process of remote viewing is more important than the results of remote viewing, meaning big term results. Now, I've worked a lot of big projects. My fellow remote viewers, a future forecasting group, we work a lot of big projects. That stuff is very important. And it's a big honor for me to do my best to produce important remote viewing works. That's one side of remote viewing. On the other side of remote viewing, I'm obsessed with the process itself, because to me that's where the human potential is. That's where all the potential is. The exploration of the process is an exploration of our potential, and the utilization of the process. And one of the benefits of that is that we can acquire some important information about something. But that's not the be-all and end-all of remote viewing. At least it is not to me. The process is. And the notion that being able to tell when an actual remote viewing is taking place as opposed to when it is not taking place, in the varying degrees that it can happen. Very low level of degree is there's very little or no remote viewing taking place at all. High degree meaning that an actual remote viewing is taking place and a high level experience is being documented. That's what I'm talking about. And again, to me, that's just a stepping stone of the human potential. It's just kind of a small thing in the realms of what we are capable of. Very good high-level remote viewing results are an example of how far we can go, but in my opinion, we got so much farther to go. It's beyond just provide me information about something. It's just, in my opinion, it's just so much greater than that. It's so much greater than that. But this is what I like to focus on here in the laboratory, is the exploration of the system that I'm developing and what I'm attempting to do, and the importance of what I call the quote-unquote anything targets, meaning that the target pool must be vast, it must be completely random, it cannot be all man-made. If they're all man-made quote-unquote targets, then the viewer can assume that. They can assume that going in, and it can limit, or it can leave room for wonderment of whether or not an actual remote viewing took place at all. That's why I have to work with the quote-unquote randomness of anything, what I call anything targets. So they could be man-made, they could be natural, they could be water, it could be mountains and trees or people or buildings, space, molecules, whatever. It could be anything. The importance of it is that I need to know that a remote viewing is actually taking place. My system that I'm designing and I'm continually exploring and experimenting with is to be able to tell when an actual remote viewing is taking place. Here's an example. This is the range of time and space here. It's a forest, mountains in the background. I have no idea what it is. I'm completely blind. I don't know. What I'm relying on, turn the volume down here. What I'm relying on here is proprioception. Proprioception coming through the ideograph to begin to generate a dimensional sensation. That's what I want. I put my pattern separations over here, which are more ideas or concepts. My pattern completes over here, which are conclusions that I'm coming to in my mind. And again, this is in neurological terms. This means when the neurons in the CA3 region of the hippocampal formation have taken a piece of stimulus and associated it with a memory that I have and completed those neural nets out as a complete memory or concept. And the remote viewing can end. It can end right there. So I objectify it over here. But as a result here, because of the anything targets, okay, this is what I'm getting. It's natural. There's a bunch of trees there that's going on. It's a forest, and it's natural, and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is true. It's true. It's a natural area. There's the forest. There's the green trees, and all that kind of stuff. Here's an example of, and again, this could be considered a high-level remote viewing because it's all true here. It's verifiably true. I'm not drawing spaceships. I'm not drawing New York City skyscrapers, cityscapes, and that kind of thing. I'm not drawing large groups of people. It's all natural. It's trees. And this is the importance of what I call the anything target. But here's another one as an example of what can be considered some high-level remote viewing. The range of time and space here is it's a Middle Eastern scene. There are bombs going out. This is a post-war scene. There's people, they're looking at it, and that's what's going on. Again, I have no idea what is going on because I'm completely blind to it. But let's go into it and see what I'm attempting to do here, which is to obtain some quote-unquote high-level actual remote viewing, verifiable, on the first page. I don't want to have to go 10 or 15 pages to get to the actual remote viewing. The reason for the design of this system is to attempt, it doesn't happen every time, the attempt to have a high-level experience on the first page, on page 1. This is a very high-level idea here. Death sentence. So this is right off of the first ideograph. I'm not experiencing any dimensional sensations. I do have some notions of something solid, it's hard, it's heavy. This is a high-level assumption here. Death sentence, meaning there's something not good here. There's something not good. I want to keep going. This is very interesting to me, so I want to keep going. What else can I experience here? I want to get into the ideograph. In my proprioceptors here, I want to generate a dimensional sensation. Starting to come in. That's my main thing. That's what's going to let me know that an actual remote viewing is taking place. This does not let me know. It lets me know, oh, that's kind of weird. But the dimensional sensation is what is going to let me know with a high level of confidence that an actual remote viewing is taking place. I am actually beginning to process a range of time and space in my brain. what I can tell at this point is that whatever this is, it's quite interesting. The ideographs that are being produced are very interesting to me. Another completion here of pattern completes of like Nazis in Germany with this. I'm getting a very uneasy feeling here. Their pattern completing out is this, like, oh, this might be Nazi Germany, or this might be a death, somebody being killed. But I don't know yet. The ideographs are very, very interesting to me. There's a person here. This is based on the ideographs. It's people. I don't want to turn it into anything at this point. I can only go at the pace that I can set that is not based on my pyramidal neurons completing out with a memory comparator. And these ideographs are very, very interesting to me. They're very interesting. I can tell this is something complex. This is complex as well, but a natural scene, it has a different feel. The idea is an area that has suffered destruction. That's true. Very high level. I keep it under the pattern separation because it's an idea. If I had an image or if I had a memory comparator completed in my mind of any kind of destruction, area of destruction that is in my memory banks, that would be pattern complete. So the pattern separation, because I want this to continue, I want to continue expanding on this. That's what pattern separation represents. I want those neurons to keep branching out into other ideas. 7105. Move along a little bit here. And there's a structure that this person is standing in front of. A person or people in an area possibly bombed out. Skip a little bit here. Here's my guy. And that's it. I'm done. The point being that I'm completely blind. This is a random, quote-unquote, anything target. Could be anything. Typically, and the reason it's not, for me, it's not, oh, look, I got it, isn't that awesome? The reason that I've come up with my own system, and I'm continuing to experiment with it, it's not even remotely complete. It's still in the experimental phase. But the reason for it is that I became very frustrated with remote viewing because it was taking me a long time to get to something actual, an actual strong perception of whatever was taking place in that range of time and space there. I want it to happen on page 1. I want it to happen on the first page. That's where it should happen. Why would it not happen there? Why would I not be on page 1 and say, yep, this is trees here. There's a bunch of trees, a forest. Or on page 1, there's a person standing in a building. It suffered destruction like it's been bombed out. Page 1. That's it. That's it. The idea is, yeah, you can have a 50-page remote viewing session, but how much of those pages actually have remote viewing on them? Maybe they all do. Maybe 10 of them do. Maybe half of those pages are just getting to be able to do, working through a process of trying to get to something. That is very frustrating to me. That's why I'm developing this system. I'm not going to say I developed it because I'm in the very, very early experimental phases still. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. There's so much more work to be done. And I just gotta keep going. Just gotta keep working it, keep doing the best I can, and hopefully something coming out is useful. Hopefully something is coming out that's useful. That's really my main goal. Thanks for your time. The best is yet to come.